Good afternoon and welcome to Mundane Mystic Live at 5. Today we're going to be talking about cancel culture. Surely that's not a new word to you these days. If you're not familiar with Mundane Mystic Live at 5, my videos, or any of the things that I've done videos on in the past, my name is Reverend Alicia Leslie. I am from Spirit of Unity Online Ministry, and I share principles of truth. Mundane means every day, and mystic means spiritual. So, what I do is I look at the spiritual aspects of things that happen in our everyday lives. So, if you like what you see, click the like button. You can also, after I'm done with the video, I put it on YouTube. So, you can go to YouTube, Alicia Leslie, Mundane Mystic, and click subscribe, and you'll never miss one. So let's get to today's video about cancel culture. Hang on one moment, please. Just have to have my little sip available. Okay, so cancel culture generally, the way you've heard it, is that if we don't like somebody, we don't like what they say, we cancel them, we punish them, we block them, and that's supposed to be a bad thing. How do you see it as a bad thing if you're blocking something that is upsetting or harming or hurting you or other people? Excuse me, hence my need for my little sip. Yeti cup. You want to keep something hot or cold, get a Yeti. I love it. Okay. We are told many times in the Bible, do not be deceived. It also talks about liars. Now, there's very hard time these days throwing a pebble without hitting a liar. It's crazy. Now, with metaphysics, it's not about blaming. It's not about saying it's your fault, it's your fault. It's about looking at the why. If you want to stop something from happening, you look at the why. Well, right now we have such a situation in our government where it seems like there's no requirements to be elected for office. It doesn't seem like anybody's being held accountable for bad behavior. Well, practically speaking, that's not a good thing because things are only going to get worse. Why? It's a spiritual principle. Well, it's a couple of them. The first one is called the law of mind action. Whatever we consistently think about, hold in mind, I have a little phrase, thoughts held in mind reproduce after their kind. And I messed that up because I mixed it up with another one that I the one that I love is where the thoughts go, energy flows, and manifestation follows. That means whatever we're thinking about for a while, we will, in fact, manifest. Well, if we're holding in mind that liars can't be stopped, that it's acceptable, that it's the way it is, guess what we get? More liars. If we don't call people that are doing bad things accountable and eliminate it, it's going to get worse. So it's up to us. Do I have to point a finger and say it's this person, it's that person? Look, as we come into these things one by one, we handle them, then we can move on. We don't handle them, we can't go on. Where the mind goes, energy flows, manifestation follows. If you don't like what you're manifesting, you better start changing your mind. Well, how do we change our mind? canceling. We have to cancel that which we don't like. Now, things like boycotting, they've been around for a long time, and they've done many, many good things. Very seldom will you hear about something that was boycotted that shouldn't have been. Unions have done, what do they call those, strikes? They go on strike. I'm not going to work. That's because why? I have to get rid of the bad things like lower pay. So it has brought pay and benefits. On the other hand, sometimes it has brought people moving through the ranks the ability to move forward without earning the position. A little confusing, but you can figure this out. When I was in seminary, I was getting ready to go in seminary. I was one of a few people in my group who got a third interview. Prior to that point, you either got a yes or you got a no. I got, like, we're not sure about you. We want to take another look. Well, let me tell you something. I was terrified. And I went to a friend of mine who at that point was far more advanced spiritually. And she said, this is what you have to do. You have to say, cancel and erase. Love, love, love. Don't keep festering on those thoughts, because if you keep festering on the fear, you're going to manifest it. We do that a lot when we pray. Let's say someone that we love is very ill. As long as we're praying and we're seeing them ill, the prayer, it can't do the work it can do when we take a more positive. We don't want to focus on the illness. We want to focus on the healing. Right now, my brother-in-law is recuperating from triple bypass surgery and COVID. Apparently, when he was in the hospital, he picked up a little case of COVID and brought it home, as did his wife. So my sister's doing a little bit better. He's taken a little bit longer. Well, heck, he just had surgery. But the thing is, I see him walking around the campground, hopping on his tractor, driving his motorhome, all the things he loves to do. And the surgery that he had will, make that easier for him. And it's just a matter of getting past the COVID. So we just keep saying, like my dear friend Lawrence always said, every day in every way, I am getting better. I am getting healthier. I am getting happier. I am getting more joyful. And I invite you to hold those thoughts also, no matter what's going on. So how are we going to stop all of the things that are negative in the world when you make the people that want to continue with their negative behaviors cry out, cancel culture? You're trying to quiet me, and I've got things to say. And no, what you do is you start out in your own mind and your own heart. You look at a situation and you have to ask yourself if this is true or not. How do you know if it's true or not? A part of that answer is within you. In Scripture it says you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. One time when I was studying for ministry, I told a person that our primary book is called Lessons in Truth. And he said, whose truth? And I wasn't at that point spiritually advanced enough to be able to really have a good answer for that. But if you ask me today, I would say there's only one truth. Truth is absolute, eternal, unchanging. It's the same yesterday, today, tomorrow. Now, our experience of truth can vary. Another day, I'm going to be doing a message on critical thinking, and I will go into that more deeply. But today, I want to focus more on the cancel culture and going back to the fact that in the Bible, it keeps telling us to look out for liars and not to be deceived. When we cancel something in our mind and in our heart, we say, that is not true for me, and I will not accept it. Not true for me. Is that for real? Is that for positive? Well, when you say true for me, there's a lot of things in life I would like to not be true for me. I can look at my scale, and if it says I've been gaining weight, I can say that's not true for me. I don't really weigh this, I weigh that, which would be my desired weight. But that and not changing my behaviors is not going to get me to that weight that I really want to be. I had a friend one time that practiced what I call metaphysical malpractice. She had a little bit of a weight thing, and she said, everything I eat turns to truth and beauty. Well, she would get more beautiful every day. Because that is not practicing a principle. See, principles of truth, what I do in my Unity ministry, is practical. So when I say that I'm a mundane mystic, I look at the spiritual meaning in everyday life. I also take the spiritual principles and how they are working in our lives. You cannot change a principle. We would like to change principles, but we can't. Now, a lot of times we do not see the effects of the causes we've sent forth right away. Takes a while sometimes. As you progress spiritually, you will find that you get what I call instant karma because number one, you are aware. Remember what we talked about the other day? Lower consciousness is human thought and human emotions. Spiritual consciousness is intuitive sensing. Intuitive of the mind, sensing of the feelings, the spiritual feeling nature. And so, you know, as you evolve spiritually, if you're doing something that is out of integrity with all you believe, you feel it inside. You just, you know. Does that mean you don't eat the cookie? You know, anybody that said the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak, it's hockey puck. Because let me tell you something. My flesh may say it's weak, but it can talk me into it just another piece of candy real quick. But it's a growing edge. We all have our growing edge. What is your growing edge? I pray that one of the things you will get from what I have to share with you today will be to question the conspiracy theories. Remember, a conspiracy theory is a theory. It is not true. It is absolute lie until and unless it can be proven right. Okay? Don't fall for the conspiracy theories. Don't fall for the lies. Pay attention and you will be blessed. And you know what? For most of us, the biggest liar is sitting in our seat. We kind of tend to tell ourselves, oh, it'll be okay. Oh, I'll do that later. Oh, I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too blah, 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 blah. We are powerful spiritual beings. Did you know that Jesus said, these things that I do and even greater things can you do if you believe? I invite you to build in your life a bigger believing, not built on wishes and magic and illusions, but on spiritual principles of truth. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free the more you study it and the more you practice it. How about a little cancel culture in your life? Spend a little time today thinking about the things in your life that you would like to change. Oh, speaking of which, it's Pancake Day. This is Fat Tuesday. It's funny how Fat Tuesday and Pancake Day can be at the same day. but they have spiritual principles behind them. They came from the Bible, both in our current religious practices and also from way back when the Hebrew people would be getting ready for Passover. They would clean their house of every bit of flour, yeast, anything like that, because they would be going through the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So everything had to be cleaned out. That has a very practical purpose. We should really go through our cabinets and our cupboards. Why not take this as an opportunity to do that? Now, with the Fat Tuesday, same thing, getting ready for Lent. And in those days, the fat they cooked with, of course, it wasn't Crisco, it was lard. So what did they do? They got all the fat out of their houses, everything out, so they were starting fresh. Rancid fat can make you real sick. A lot of it, they got rid of it for practical purposes. I was told that one of the reasons why Catholics don't eat meat on Fridays and Wednesdays during Lent, why they sacrifice it, is there was a time when there was a shortage of meat. So what they would do is on this one day of the week, they would not eat meat. And you know what? That's not a bad day. What could we give up for a practical purpose? Is there something you want to change in your body, in your mind, in your finances? What can you do? Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday, and it's a great time to start practicing a Lenten tradition of giving up something that you will come out and you will be better in the 40 days. We'll talk more about that maybe tomorrow. Meantime, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you've gotten a little hint. When somebody talks about cancel culture, ask them, don't ask them, ask yourself, because you probably won't be talking to them, you'll probably be a politician. Say, what's in it for you to not, to want to not be shut up? Is it truth or is it manipulation? Trying to play on my emotions and you being a victim just because someone decides to cut you off because you are not helping, you are hurting. Think on these things. You have a great day, and I will hopefully see you again tomorrow or soon. God bless you.